the elder boy Arlo, but Arlo seems to be fine. Casper is there as well. Arlo holding on to Daddy's hand for all he possibly can. Another man from the great Bangor Grammar School to play for Ireland: Dick Milligan, Roger Clegg, Kenny Hooks, Davy Morrow, Don Whittle, Mark McCall, and more recently Kieran Dawson. And Stuart McCuskey has more caps than all of them. What a player he's been over the last decade, and a wee bit more for the boys in white, who are coming out to give him the possible best evening, and this the occasion of his 200th cap. And you will agree, he looks like a number 8, but he plays like a centre, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a talisman, Jim, for Ulster. Consistency personified. I think, as the guys mentioned earlier, maybe not as many Ireland caps as he's either deserved or warranted, but certainly in a white shirt sets the standard every week.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Alan O'Connell, Ulster skipper, won the toss, and he is elected to play down toward the War Memorial end. Ulster seem to be much happier when they're playing that way in the second half. And it's going to be the man of the match last weekend against Stormers, the wonderfully named Sasha Feinberg and Ngoma-Zulu, the 23-year-old with 8 South African caps to his credit. And that's a big high kick, hanging just in a wee bit of a breeze, and also managed to take that in, which they sometimes don't always do. John Cooney gets it away. Tom O'Toole playing his 119th game. Ulster managed to set it up just outside, or but midway between their 22 and 10-metre line. Cooney looking to the narrow side. Andy Warwick, the last man in, just forming the back end of that caterpillar, as it's called. The referee, incidentally, is Andrea Piardi from Italy. A big night for him. This is his 50th game, and he's the first Italian official to have refereed at both Six Nations and Ulster Rugby Championship level, or not Ulster Rugby, United Rugby Championship, the Southern Hemisphere version of the Six Nations. Looked like that might just have been knocked on a little bit, and Ulster trying to push the ball toward the far touchline. Well kept in by the Stormers. This is Ruben van Heerden.
Use it.
Tallest man in the park at nearly 6'8". Devaud Divanega played nearly 100 times for Benetton. Michael Lowry takes it and takes a Stormer at the same time. Referee has the whistle dangerously close to his mouth, and the Stormers have come away with it, and that's good ground by the visitors, and they're still going forward. There's a huge hole there. Oh, this is going to be a devastating start. What a score it's going to be for Efan Roos. Out of nothing whatsoever, a huge hole appeared in the Ulster midfield, and there's no better man to take advantage of it, and that is not what Ulster wanted.
No, certainly not, Jim. Turnover ball from the Stormers. Moved quickly by Duvenacha, and Roos shows his pace in midfield. Huge gap appears, pins the ears back on the diagonal, outstrips the outstretching arm of Robert Balakoon, and Michael Lowry could do nothing about that. And that's a devastating start for Ulster, really. 2 passes, move it wide. We all know what Roos can do in the loose, and he showed it.
Well, no mistake with the conversion from Sasha Feinberg, Ngoma-Zulu.
Fair contest for the ball.
Well taken at the back by Marcel Tienersen.
Ball at the front. Away,
Roos once again. Tienersen. Also trying to hold him up, and he's done well to release it.
Good. Well done,
Duvenaga changes direction. Back to his outside half. Long range drop at goal. That looks pretty decent, and that's an absolute belting strike by Sasha Feinberg Ngoma-Zulu, and he's landed a drop goal to add to the conversion, and all of a sudden the Stormers are 10-0 up.
That's as sweet as they come, Jim. Right out of the screws from Ngoma-Zulu.
Stormers very nearly going over that. Herring whips it away to Dave McCann. Good sidestep by the number 8, and that's gone loose. Oh dear, this is turning out to be a catastrophic start for Ulster, and I don't think he's going to be caught, and McCuskey can't get there, and it's another try for the Stormers, and it's that man Ben Loader, who's off to Gloucester next week, or next year I should say, and that's a second try, and 5 more points, and Ulster find themselves 15 down at the moment.
Yeah, the tip pass from Herring, the step from McCann initially is good, Jim, but the accuracy in the pass, it's high risk, it doesn't go to hand. Murphy just overruns it slightly. It's Loader who anticipates, picks up the ball, and from that sort of distance, he may have lost a yard or two since his London Irish days, but there's no way Ben Carson's reeling him in from there. And 15-0 to the Stormers, and not 10 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, and that is an extraordinary conversion from the wrong side of the field from Sasha Feinberg Magomazulu. He can do no wrong. Tom O'Toole helps to set it up. Murphy. Nobody really chasing that one. It's bounced rather awkwardly, but it's eventually gathered in by Damien Willemse, double World Cup winner, and forced to make a snap decision as to whether kick or run, and he decided to kick and has found his touch. I also need to score from here, Tony.
Huge, and again, just the wind playing havoc. Willemse initially in a good position, but just an extra little puff of wind at the end takes that out of his grasp.
Warwick gives the signal to Rob Herring. And Herring's into the back. Now can he score one of his trademark tries? He got over the line twice last week against the Dragons, and here he goes again. Runs into his opposite number, Dweeba. Now it's Tom O'Toole, little sidestep from the tight head prop. That's good work by O'Toole, and he's presented the ball quite nicely. Matty Ray to Kieran Treadwell, back to Harlequins at the end of the season. Cooney to Breve. Rob Herring staying. Cooney again. Now it's McCluskey. Well set up by McCluskey yet again. McCann, nice sidestep by the big back row forward. Ulster getting ever closer, just an arm's length away. Little flat pass, here they go for the line. Cooney brings it infield again, and again it's Tom O'Toole.
Stay back, good.
Kept his place despite a great performance by Scott Wilson.
No hands.
Nick Timothy waits. Now he's capable of getting across that line, but he may decide to pass. No, he has a go himself.
Stay back, back.
Herring in there to help.
Stay back.
And Warwick, pause on the ball. Still can't quite get over. Ulster was in this position last week and indeed the week before. Now it's Cooney. Murphy whips it away. Here's Ballacoon on his return, and the big fella's in the corner. And having missed 21 games in a row because of injury, Rob Ballacoon has returned in spectacular style. And my goodness, how Ulster needed that try.
Absolutely. Good composure, Jim. A couple of resets by the forwards, the pick and go, and then eventually out the back. Lovely vision from Jack Murphy with the 20-yard spin pass off his wrong hand to boot as well. Ballacoon keeps his depth, keeps his width, the gather, the stretch, and then he goes. Great score.
Little chip into space. Now that could go anywhere. This is interesting. Somebody needs to make sure of that, and Ballacoon does get it, despite the attentions of Feinberg Magomazulu. Cooney's kick charge down and gathered in by Roos, very nearly away, and they're still going, and that's gone out wide. It looks like try number 3 if they can get it back in field. That was a forward pass, and Ulster breathed a sigh of relief. And your point about Ulster's accuracy and the ability for the Stormers, Tony, to pounce on anything is well made.
Yes, Ulster just been lulled into that game, Jim, where they feel they've got to play. It's got to be high pressure. Cooney, there's 4 men out there waiting to charge that down. It's brilliantly done by Roos, and then the support play is magnificent as well. You've got to give some credit to Zas for trying to offload the pass.
Cooney again. This is better stuff from Ulster. Nicely done. Carson, lovely pass. And here goes Timothy. Got it away now to McCluskey. Now he's put the foot down. He can put the foot down. He gets into the 22, and he's bundled into touch by the Stormers defence. Well, that's a bit more like it from Ulster. You don't see sequences like that enough from them.
It's much better shape. It looked a little bit stereotypical, didn't it, to start with the one-off runners, the ball inside, but once they managed to shorten that line, Lowry and Carson working well.
Cooney gets it away to Dave McCann. Again, sidestep from McCann, whose form dipped a wee bit this season. There goes Ben Carson. Cooney has a go himself. Oh, and the referee's given a penalty against Ulster for, I think, maybe just clearing out. Or was Cooney offside? It looked like John Cooney was in for what would have been a 7-pointer.
Yeah, just opened up for him as well, and just a little bit of trickery play from Ulster, Jim. You see Carson with the chop tackle, comes round the corner. Just as you say, I think it's Treadwell that's penalised for the clear out over the top, going off his feet.
Oh, well taken by Treadwell. One big arm behind him. Ulster shunting forward.
Okay, that's yours.
Herring's in there at the back. The man born in Cape Town where the Stormers are from. Here goes Herring. He's made a good decent fist of this. Gets it to Ballacoon. Clever little jinky sidestep by big Rob Ballacoon. Cooney once again. Nick Timoney, solid man that he is. Back to Cooney. Ball above ground. Matty Ray it was, took it forward. Cooney might think about changing direction, and he does just that. McCann still with it. Good defending by the Stormers. Here comes McCluskey. Crowd willing him forward. Cooney in there, gets it away quickly. Tom O'Toole stopped in his tracks, but he's presented it nicely.
Good listen.
Still there for Ulster. Again it's McCann. Again it's Cooney. Dummy by Cooney. Has a go himself from short range. They're right on the line, and it seemed to be just nudged forward by Ulster, and it's going to be a scrum to the Stormers. Another good passage of play by Ulster, who
crouch.
Duvanaga with the ball.
Bind. Set. Keep it up.
Penalty.
Sidestep.
Now decision time for Alan O'Connor. This is should be 3 points in the bag, shouldn't it? What do you think?
Yes. Number 3.
Cases have been Jim with the kick for the corner. It's more central this time. You'd fancy even a tap and go possibly. It doesn't look as if they want to kick the points. They're after tries and 5 points, so some sort of a nice little set piece move with Rob Herring at the spear of it.
Yeah, tap by Herring, drive by Herring. Timoney gets the ball and gets a couple of Stormers at the same time. Ball coming back on the Ulster side, albeit a bit slowly. Here the home side go again. Good tight drive by the forward pack. Referee's in getting himself round to see what's going on. And again Ulster go, and that's them over. They're right across the line. And that's a good pick up and drive by Ulster.
Relatively simple, straightforward from 2 points for Cooney, and that closed the Jim back to 5, and Ulster well back in this game. What, 10 minutes on the clock to half-time.
John Cooney adds the points. We maybe get another look at just exactly who got across that Stormers line. Tom O'Toole's in the middle of all that, but I don't think it was Tom who got the ball down.
The warning was for offside, not the general warning.
And again, it's DeVette, the replacement scrum half. Stormers looking for what might be a real serious blow before the interval. If Roos was well taken by Ulster. DeVette to the narrow side. As Ali Farmak takes it on, and again the Stormers coming forward and moving that ball with wonderful precision, but Ulster's defence is right up in their faces. And what a tackle and what a steal by Ben Carson. My word, that's so important. And back they get it to Jacob Stockdale, who decides to have a go himself and gets it to Michael Lowry, who steps it away. And here goes Ballacoon. He's going to kick and he's going to chase. Oh, he's been taken out. Surely the crowd think he's been taken out. John Cooney's very upset about something, and they're going to go back for the penalty, and that has to be a yellow card.
4 yards out.
Well, he put the shoulder into him. The ball was well away, and he saw that Ballacoon had the legs of him. He just simply dumped him unceremoniously on the seat of his pants.
The fact as well, Jim, he must know that Ballacoon's played no rugby in a year. He's been out injured. It's his first game back, and you know, it's just absolutely.
Well, he has gone. It's taken Andrea Piardi, I think, in consultation with his TMO, his fellow Italian Stefano Rossini, to work all that out. And it's going to be a penalty where the ball landed from the kick, and it's now into the corner, and a chance for Ulster to take the lead by the interval, or certainly come back to level terms, Tony.
Well, certainly, Jim, after 6 or 7 minutes, this was not on the cards. But Ulster, as we've talked about, have steadied the ship, dominated possession as well, and is Ngoma Zulu's stupidity going to cost his team right at the end of the first half? McCann with the take.
And it goes, here come Ulster again. Nick Timoney driving for the line. 2 metres away. Dave McCann has a go himself. Still there for Ulster. They're coming back. Treadwell gathers, moves it wide. Oh, wonderful tackle on the far side. Ulster still going, and they've got it. And they're over in the corner. And what a try that was by Ulster. And what a try it was by young Jack Murphy.
Yeah, Ulster did well, Jim. Good defence from the Stormers. There's an absolutely monstrous hit. Ulster player drilled on his backside, but manages to get the pass away. But again, McCann's been outstanding this evening. His set piece works brilliant. Timoney then with the tap and go round the corner. There's good composure. Stormers get a little bit narrow in defence. Stockdale wide. Cooney, I think it is, gets man and ball together. Recycles, and Murphy so alive, Jim. The pick up, the dancing feet, the stretch, the score, and Ulster back to level.
The forwards set that up. Treadwell with the wide pass. Murphy, very alert, scooped it up and over in the corner. Wonderful, wonderful score by the youngster. All to play for. Ulster with 3 tries. Dave McCann picks up and has a go himself, says a dummy. Oh, dearie me. Well, that was a try scoring opportunity there because there wasn't much happening in terms of defence. Referee has played advantage to the Stormers. Taken on by second row Conor Evans, who's been a busy boy all evening. Dave Ewers is in at the back. DeVette gets it away. Remember, down to 14 men because Feinberg Komazulu is off the field. And Jay Purdy is saying we have an illegal clean-out by a blue player on a white player.
Yeah.
So he's gone down to the Aquinas end to the big screen to have another good look at that. There's TMO is a fellow Italian, Stefano Rossini, as we mentioned, Owen Cross, incidentally, and Andrew Fogarty, both from the IRFU, are his assistants. And that was an illegal clean-out, I do believe, by Damien Valemsa. McCann was in there, the face was exposed.
The clean-out is actually not on the head, it's on the chest, but he's not wrapping with his arm. So it will be a penalty against Stormers on the 5-meter line.
Okay. So a penalty, which is what we expected, on the 5-meter line. Herring, leader of the orchestra, taps and goes by himself. They need to squeeze the ball back between the legs and give Alan O'Connor, maybe Treadwell, a chance. And here they go again. And have they got it over the line? They're certainly over the line, but have they got it down? It's still there for them. Matty Ray leaves it. Cooney gets it away. Carson moves it wide. Here goes Laurie. Swings it away, and it's Jacob Stockdale gets in for the bonus point try for Ulster. And as great a start to the second half for Ulster as it was catastrophic for them at the start of the first.
Yeah, nicely constructed, Jim. Again, Herring with the tap and go. A couple of riposts from the Stormers, and then Ulster used that numerical advantage. Short ball to Carson. You've got Murphy round the corner. Michael Lowry uses his pace and sensibly realises he's going to get wheeled in. Good accurate pass to Stockdale, keeping his depth.
That looks a lot better. That's a very good kick by John Cooney. What a belter. Well, you've got to score points when your opponents are down to 14. Also done just that. Ben Carson with the take.
No full play, both play, a really low play on.
A big hefty man in blue and white.
Take him
I hope
back.
He's okay. I think he is. Cooney pops it to Tom O'Toole. Runs into Marcel Tunison, the 6'4" flanker. And Carson has got himself hurt. I thought he might have been Simon Feinberg and Komazulu coming back just for a second or two.
For me, it's illegal action by number 3. No mitigation, always illegal, red card.
I'm agree.
Okay, camera back to me. So what we have to have is head contact by number 3. The action is always illegal, so it will be a red card against number 3.
Oh, it's a straight red card, my word. Well, Neatling Fouché will not be happy with that. John Cooney gives him a wee conciliatory pat on the back, and off goes the Stormers skipper. And it's not going the way of the Stormers in terms of keeping people on the field, Tony. And again, Connor goes in.
No!
Ball is there. Referee says no. Tunison is there. Also about to bring on another player. Komazulu has a pop at the goals, and he's put it right between the posts. What a strike by this fella. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah, Stormers just ran out of options, Jim.
Number 6,
pick and go. Good defence by Ulster. And then a sensible decision by the Stormers. They just take their points. You know, something that Chris and Robbie talked about at half-time, and building yourself in. Obviously they're behind, closes the gap to 4.
Well, they're still inside their own half, but Cooney's got it again. Here comes Treadwell, who's had a good game. Drives forward. Cooney sells a nice dummy, still there. pops it up well. Here come Ulster moving forward. The skipper Alan O'Connor to halfway. Cooney again. Well taken by McCluskey. Good thrust by the big lad. Across that halfway line, Ulster trying to get into the Stormers' territory. This is nicely done, and away they go. Here goes Stockdale. He's got a man with him. That looked forward, but still going, and it's going to be a try for Zach Ward. Wonderful score. They may have to check that, but for my money, Zach Ward has got Ulster's fifth try of the evening.
Yeah, beautiful work, Jim, from Ulster. They look sharp with the ball in hand, and once they've managed to shorten that outside defence, great line from Stockdale, wasn't it, as well? He has the awareness, straightens his line, draws the fullback, ball in two hands, and Ward does the rest. Brilliant pace from the youngster. And make sure of the score as well, and Ulster now stretching their lead.
Well, it's as good a try as Ulster scored all season, and Stockdale is back in sparkling form. Well, the try was perfect, the pass was not forward. And silly me for thinking that Jacob Stockdale would do something like that, and what a finish by Zach Ward.
Stockdale's ability though, Jim, the ball in two hands and to keep the fullback honest. The fullback had to stay on him, wasn't allowed to drift out and get near Ward. That gave him the space in the room to get in the corner.
Venter with the ball. That has gone to the back. Well taken in. Roos is in the middle of all of that. He's had a quiet second half after a storming start and a storming first half. And look at the Stormers. There may be a man down, but they're shunting Ulster back toward the home line, and this is not what Ulster want.
Still moving.
Stormers
still moving. That's
the ball is still up in the air, so the Stormers have another bite at it. Referee said that's once. Now they're going to have to play it, and they do play it. A little dummy in the middle of the park. Good covering tackling by Ulster. By McCann was in the middle of all that. In fact, it was Stockdale. Stormers with a slight man advantage. Roos is put to ground. Ulster back inside their 22, defending like their lives depended on it. Good little dart by Paul DeVette, held up by Nick Timoney. Good job by Timoney, and away they go round that narrow side yet again. This is good work by the replacement Gary Porter. DeVette pops it up. Here they come again. This is good stuff by the Stormers. This is going to be a Stormers try right beside the post, and it's going to be a 7-pointer, and it's Willie Engelbrecht with the try.
Beautifully constructed, Jim. The pass from Ngomazulu. You've got to see it to believe it. He just takes it, holds the ball momentarily. Just that little ball out the back, one step, two step, flat as you like. Engelbrecht, it's a mismatch in midfield. Treadwell's holding his arms out. I think that was his man. He got caught narrow, he's ball watching. Engelbrecht then takes the outside line in between Treadwell and Doak and touches down, and just as the Stormers asked for it, they're back in the game.
Well taken down. Paul DeVette gets it away, and Ngomazulu right-footed. Lowry wonderfully positioned. Now what can he do with it? He can get away from his man, and Lowry's up to halfway. Needs a little bit of help. He's got help now from Timoney. Has to give it. Here comes Ulster once again, and it's going to be a try for Stuart Moore, and maybe that will see Ulster home. There's a fair old bit to go, but Stuart Moore has got Ulster's sixth try of the evening, and they haven't put in a performance like this for a long time.
Fantastic counter-attack. Michael Lowry take a bow. Once again, Jim. The ball over his head, goes back, ball in two hands, the dancing feet. Not quite sure what Leonel Das was doing there, very upright, but the pass inside from Lowry to Timoney, the support play from Stuart Moore, who applies the finishing touch. But Michael Lowry, that try, that's got your name written all over it. Great support play from Ulster once they make the initial breach.
Well, they played some exuberant rugby this evening. They've made a few mistakes, particularly in the open 10 minutes when they looked as if they were going to be on the other end of a drubbing, but not so. Nathan Doak from close range has added the extras, and Ulster now leading by 38 points to 27. Looking for somebody at the front. Engelbrecht takes it at the front, down they come with it. Now they're going to drive infield. Remember, they're only down to 7 forwards. Now they change around and they drive once again, and Ulster are doing well to hold them up. Or have they held them up? They have thus far. Ball still coming back. tight forwards take it on. Referee couldn't be any closer or better position. And here goes Roos looking for a second. He started the whole evening off with the opening try in just the second minute. And that's been spilled forward, and Ulster will get themselves a scrummage.
Some great defence from Ulster. Jim Tom Stewart round the ankles of Evan Roos as he picked and came inside. And as you mentioned, the knock on, just a recycle.
Well, that's a
so he clearly played the hands on the ground, but the Stormers played, and that creates the knock on.
Now,
it's totally unfair. Okay. I want to see the number of that guy that makes this infringement.
So he wants to see the number of the Ulster player who committed the offence.
Good luck to him in there.
Exactly.
There are bodies everywhere.
And what does he do if he can't identify the player?
No.
He's having a word with Ulster.
You're a tackler. You're on the ground. You cannot play the hands on the ball carrier. It's illegal. Cynical play, yellow card.
Okay.
Harry Sherman's just about expressed his thoughts there. We'll draw a line under that. Pops it in. Ulster collapsed the front row. Referee says it's advantage. Roos picks it up and has another go himself. Referee has got the hand out still for the advantage to the Stormers. This game is far from over. Here come the blue and whites from Cape Town. Good tackle by Kieran Treadwell, still there for the Stormers, and again they put the heads down and batter forward. They're trying to change direction now. Lots of men have come round from the far side to the near side. DeVette moves it away, interception by Ulster, but they'd have to come back. Zach Ward was in there, and he thought, what a night this would be for me if I got a second try. Little smile on his face, but that'll be wiped off because Ulster have given away another penalty. Little tap and go, and here they come again, and they haven't got across the line, and Roos is doing his very best. They've been held up by Ulster. Dogged and bloody-minded defence by the men in white. Down to 14 men, remember, so both sides with 14 men, and here come the Stormers again. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Andrea Piardi has to get round to the far side of this. Back in the Stormer side, can they get across that Ulster line? It's very close yet again. And once again Ulster dig in, and once again the Stormers regroup. There's the ball, here they come again. Yet again do they thrust for that Ulster line, and again Ulster managed to hold them up just about and no more. Piardi's there, and he's given the try, and it is another try, and it looks like Evan Roos has got a second of the evening. He did start the whole thing off. Has he finally finished the whole thing? But the gap is very narrow, and there's a conversion to come.
It's a one-score game. It could be a 4-point game.
Magumazulu pops it over in between the Ulster posts, and all of a sudden there's only an unconverted try between them. 3 points going to be no good to the Stormer side. They're trailing just, well, by 4 points, 38-24 in favour of Ulster. Will not blow this one. Stewart throws, well taken. McCann plucked it out of the air. Stewart gets in behind him. A couple of seasons ago, Stewart scored at just about every tick of the clock. Duke gets it away. Taken on by Ulster and by Stuart McCluskey. And this the occasion of his 200th, and he's got across the 22. Ulster on the front foot, and they've given away the penalty. Oh dear, and McCluskey throws the ball away. They didn't need to do that, taken quickly, and that's gone into touch, and there is a chance now. We're into the final minute of this game. 38-34, Tony McWhorter. What do you think?
Yeah, that wasn't needed by Ulster, Jim. The line out the maul just needed a little bit of a cool head and a cold heart in there, and Ulster panicked, gambled, and gave away the score. And now the Stormers, they'll be delighted with their 2 points, Jim, the 4 for the bonus point, and then the losing within 7, but they would dearly love to go home with full points from the Kingspan.
Well, a loss now for Ulster is not bear contemplating. The whole season depends on this. In it goes, long to the back. Who's going to win that? The answer is Tom Stewart. We have less than 10 seconds to go. Andrea Piardi sending Nathan Doak, just get on and play it, and Doak kicks it for the far touchline, and that's the 80 minutes, and the referee blows his whistle, and somehow Ulster have come back from the dead, 17-0 down after just a handful of minutes, and they've won this one, And what an exciting game. A lot of mistakes made, a lot of opportunities wasted. But in the end, Ulster deserved to win, and they won it by 38 points to 34. Sum it up for me, Tony McCullough.
Brilliant game of rugby, Jim. Had everything. The Stormers start the Ulster comeback. Ulster well ahead. The wobble then from Ulster towards the end, but great game. And it just shows how close the league is, Jim, as well. Stormers will be happy with the 2 points, but Ulster live to survive